All right. Happy Friday, everybody. Last Friday of the month. It's been a wonderful month. Everybody has done amazing things, and I'm really excited about where we're going. And with that, we have Dr. Hank on the call. And for those that do not know him, well, here he is. He is amazing. He is somebody that I've been working with for a couple years now and has totally changed my life and even my family's life. So, and as well as this business, been on a couple success trips and it just gets better and better. So I'm really excited to share Dr. Hank, and he is on this call every Friday at the end of the month. Just a quick announcement. Mondays moving forward, on Mondays, we're going to be doing this call Monday at 11 a.m. Eastern time, Robin and I. And so just make sure that you are aware of that. And it'll be just a really great start to the week, we're thinking. And really looking forward to that as well. And Dr. Hank, shortly after that, he has his Master Heart Family call as well. So if you want to share a little bit about that too, Dr. Hank. But with that, I'll leave it to you. So thanks everybody for being here, and we'll open up to some questions after. But I'm going to let Dr. Hank take the mic.
Okay, well, great. Well, thank you so much, Deborah, and welcome everybody. You're going to absolutely love this session. It's going to be filled with, I would suggest, in fact, you start writing things down as you hear them that are kind of ahas or a good point. Maybe you knew it already, but aren't applying it. And today we're going to talk about building relationships. And this world is filled with everything we want and everything we don't want, and to include people. And we have this magnificent ability. And by the way, we're going to be like flying with the angels in the sky down to earth, specific questions that you would ask and how you have the conversation. And you need it all. And it really all starts with the angels, if you will, that we have the power with our thoughts to be able to mold our experience, change people. And we've been brought up with the belief you can't change people. And you can change people real easy. And in fact, to prove it to yourself, just think about like when maybe you weren't in a very good mood and someone walked in the room and they just, were so happy and everything, and it changed you. And that's because that person was high flying, feeling good, that was excited about life, excited to talk to you or whatever. And so you can change by other people. And the beauty is that you can actually change other people whether you know them or not. It's really based on what you're thinking, what you're feeling. And so with relationships, we can invite into our experience. Everyone can be angelic or not. And typically and not people that aren't angelic, that we think a lot about them and how they are and how it's supposed to be. In fact, I have a fun story to share with you on. We were out and we saw that there was this small little city that was having Oktoberfest in September. So already something's not quite right. It's supposed to be Oktoberfest and we're in September. But there's literally thousands of people and there's thousands of parking spaces, and they're all taken. And so we didn't even know about it. So we're kind of there right in the midst of everything happening. And there's a parking, and so there's no parking. And so I turn to my wife, Jenny, and I say, we're going to get a parking spot right away. And she kind of looks at me, and she knows me, and she knows we'll get a parking spot right away. And we see people traveling all around looking for a parking spot, and they don't see one. And I just come around the corner, and a truck pulls out. And so I just pull right in, and I got my parking spot. And all of a sudden, I hear so this horn beeping and this guy yelling and screaming, and so I kind of look back and I roll down put down my window, and he goes, "You," and he starts yelling at me and swearing. He's been there for 10 minutes waiting for this parking spot. And I didn't know it because this truck was in the way. It was backing up, and I didn't see any vehicle at all. It was a big truck. And so here I am. I'm in front of. I'm with the person that is irate, that is yelling, and I'd probably call him. Most would probably call him a redneck. Okay, and I was kind of out in the boonies, and with this Texan redneck, Texan whatever. But see, I didn't have any of those thoughts. That what I've said is, "Oh my gosh, I didn't realize." And so, see, it's because of the way that I am, and the way that I am is how I prepay my conversations, time, how my travels are going to be, etc. So the number one thing for you to write down, first of all, on how to build any relationships, and let's be specific to the business, that I have an appointment to speak with someone, that we need to prepay that. And we need to call it the way we want to. How are most of us? Most of us are all, "Oh gosh, I hope they're going to like me," or "Gee, I hope I know I'm doing a good job and I know a lot." And you're thinking about things that you don't want. So back to this example with this guy yelling at me, and that I said, "Hey, I'm sorry, no problem," and I back up, and he is just dumbfounded. His mouth is open. He can't believe that I backed up. And I'm so happy about not having this space. Okay. And so I back up. I'm like, "No problem." I'm waving and everything, and he's kind of waving at me. He pulls in the parking spot. And what happens, see, because when you're flying high and when you just ask for what you want, I want a parking spot or I want a good conversation, that you simply ask for it. And if you only think about it the way you want it, you'll get it that way. And so I pull out of the parking spot and my window's still down. And a guy walks by me and he goes, "Hey, I'm parked three cars from this guy, and I'm leaving right now. You can have my spot." And it's like, oh, this is just all magic, and this world literally can be magical if we start thinking about it. We each have the power. Each one of us have been blessed with this power to be able to mold the energy that creates worlds into our experience, into having our dreams come true, in having our business be like a rocket and take off. And so if you're really focused and you determined, I just love that my business is taking off now. I love meeting amazing people. And so what kind of people do you want? And so if I ask that, what comes to mind on who do you want to be able to talk to? Who has some comment about that? Who has a thought about that? Who do you want to?
Are you asking from a business?
Yes.
Are you
Yeah.
asking from a business development perspective?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Ready? Willing,
Well, people that are in
Go ahead.
my Wi-Fi is dropping off. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I maybe get out of this space. I was thinking people who
You have a pretty
are in their health and interested in their
You have a pretty hand, Marla.
dog out at
We're admiring your hand.
I'm sorry about that.
See, everything becomes fun.
There we go.
You ask for it. And so does someone have a comment?
All right. So just I apologize. No.
So who has a thought?
Cash said something. Cash, repeat what you said.
yes, we want people that are ready, willing, and able.
Hey, there you go, baby. You're good. You're good, Kat. Ready, willing, and able. And that, I don't want, what would you say is the number one fear to anybody, Cash, whoever? What is the number one objection that you typically have if you're on call one, call two? What's your typical objection?
They want to know more, maybe.
Okay, want to know more, which is okay and not so much of an objection, but it's not yes. So we could say, well, I need to think about it, or, I'm going to research it more. That, that's a kind of one. And so that sure isn't ready, willing, and able, right? And that's somebody that we don't want. What's the number one objection that you've had?
The investment, right?
The investment, yeah, yeah. And so if you think about that and you think about the past and someone said, oh, I don't have the money. And see, and that just isn't true. And so we need to change the way that we think. Like, gee, I hope they have enough money, or I hope they don't ask me how much it costs. There is no cost to this. There's an investment. And it's not for a scanner, it's for a whole business. So we need to change our mindset about, what we're offering, first of all, because this money idea that if a person had cancer and told they would die in 6 months, and you said you had the cure, do you think anybody and everybody will come up with $2,800 if you had the cure? Yeah, they come up with $2,800. So everybody has the money. They just think they don't have the money, or are telling you they don't have the money, when in fact they really do have the money. It's up to us to be able to effectively communicate our value to them. And it's not just the value of the scanner or the supplements, which I call the answers and solutions to what the scanner, the only technology in the world that can measure better than blood and can help prevent major diseases. I mean, my goodness, we're better than like the person that comes to us saying, I'm going to die in 6 months. This is, you won't ever be coming to me and saying you're going to die in 6 months, okay? That we have the answers and solutions to that. And so it's this mindset that we have, and this is all about the relationship. Because when I have a mindset on, I have the greatest opportunity in the world for you to make a small investment and get a whole business. You get to have me, which is you, okay? You get to have me, you get to have my team, like all of us here. You get to have Dr. Moore, you get to have $1 billion company behind you. You have an amazing business model. You have Deborah that has virtually every answer, anything that there is, and knows how to answer, et cetera. And so do you, by the way. You have all the answers. And you may say, oh, but Marella may say, oh, I just joined recently. I don't have, oh, yes, you do. So one of the things I would write down when people ask a question, then what you do is the first response is, so don't be like, oh, what am I going to say? Or first response is, you say, that is a great question. Okay? That'll give you a little time to think. But it also compliments them, and now you're building the relationship. Okay? Man, I love to be complimented. I ask every day for people to compliment me, and I've been complimented many times today, to include from Deborah just a few minutes ago. Thank you very much for answering my prayers, because this is how it is. So that makes me feel good, and because I feel good, you all feel good, and whatever. It's just this ripple effect. It's like ocean wave effect that we can have on people, but it's all in our mindset. So when I'm asked a question, I state, that's a great question, and then ask, why do you ask? Okay? Because if they say, oh, are you, multi-level? That's a great question. Why do you ask? And they say, yes, I love multi-level. I get it. I understand it. It's able to share all the revenues with all of us. It powers all of us. Whereas what were you may be thinking? That they were thinking, oh, multi-level, I don't want that. And by the way, if they do say that, and they ask you, are you multi-level? Great question. Why do you ask? They say whatever they're going to say. You say, no, we aren't. Because the multi-level they're thinking about is about 40 years ago, when what would happen wasn't a public company, $1 billion public company. It was a small little company, and you had to buy their products and fill the products in your room. The only buyers were those that were, joining the organization, and they had a room full of crap, if you will, And then you started building your business, and then they sold the business, and then all of your revenue share, all that passive income was swept right away from you. And so that's not what this is. This is that instead of investing in marketing and TV, we invest in us. And so we get compensated. We share the good news. We're the marketers. We're the pioneers. And so the answer is no, we're not multi-level at all. What we are is we're a revenue sharing company. Wow, cool. So back to, and I'll just end that story with our little redneck guy with the truck. So I pull in three cars down from where he is. After he had to wait 10 minutes, I didn't wait at all, 30 seconds, whatever, I smiled. And I set my window down. And I see him coming across over to me. And most people would be like, oh my God, this guy's going to shoot you, or whatever. And I go, oh, great. And he stops and he goes, you're the nicest man I've ever met. I just wanted to say thank you. You just made my day. I go, oh, thanks so much. And here, this is the guy that was swearing at me, 5 minutes ago. And so it's all on how I think. It doesn't have anything to do with how other people act. And so when you're a magnet, and when you're feeling good and you're feeling it, and you start talking to someone and sharing this good news, that's what you're doing. And so in prepayment, what I would do is I would start saying, hey, first of all, that this call is going to be fantastic. We're going to have a great time together. Don't prepay that and do God's work. Because the Father doesn't work. Don't get into specific, hey, this guy's going to buy a scanner. Okay, don't do that. Stay away. You're too attached to it then. And if you attach to it, you push it away. And so what you want to do is you want to go, we're going to have a great time. We're going to smile together. We're going to laugh together. We're going to have fun together on this call. Fun together on this call. And why would that be effective? Because if that other person that you're talking to has fun, they like you. They want to be around you. They want more of you. They want to join whatever you're a part of. And so there you go. You got yes. And you got what you want in the scanner, whatever it is, a team player, And so prepaying on that, they're not only ready, willing, and able, that they want and pay for what I offer. Now there you go. Yeah, I love that. And Morelli, you're a high D, and I know you're new to the group, but you're a high D, a driver, and we'll get to talking about that on Monday, but I'm sure you're saying, yeah.
I'm surprised that came out a high D. I used to be a DD, but now I think I'm just one D and an I think.
Yeah, you're high I too, yeah. And so you're definitely an influencer as well. But I'm sure you're loving this on, that's what, we want to do is, I want to attract people that want and pay for what I offer. And I would write that down. If you start saying these things, these thoughts, then you'll attract those people. Deborah had all expense paid. She didn't work the last 3 or 4 months now. And during that time that she wins a free trip. And not because she's working, but because all of us are, and this is a team, and how great this is part of this business model, and we can take advantage of. And I shared with Deborah that, Deborah, when you go on this trip, I want you to enjoy it. Don't think about work, and for sure, don't worry about it. Just like, don't worry about your kids, okay? You're sending them worry. Don't do that. Send them love and well-being, and they're just fine. They have their own guidance system, and they're going to be just fine. And so Deborah, I shared with her that, hey, your angels are going to be out while you're enjoying yourself on this cruise. Your angels are going to be out. And what is this angel? This is this energy that I create with my thoughts, and this loving energy from God, the universe, however your beliefs are. But you better believe and know that there is this power. I have one guy that don't want to say God at all, but he's willing to say the force, from who is that, Luke or whatever,
Force.
the force be with you. And so he's okay with the force. He just doesn't want to do obvious again, some bad experiences he had, you know, growing up, whatever. And so there is, and this is what makes everything happen. We think we're doing it because we do, and then we get do. And so we're going to stop doing that. We're going to start thinking and feeling about what we want. So Deborah went and she enjoyed herself. And I said, all your angels, this loving energy, because you've been asking for what you want, Deborah, then you'll see that it'll bring to you that when you come back, you'll be loaded with all kinds of wonderful people to talk to. Deborah, how many people did you talk to today?
Or 4.
How many did you talk to? She just came back Monday. How many did you talk to yesterday?
I think 5 or 6.
Yeah, this is with her being gone, 5 or 6. Yeah. This is her being gone, and they're just the floodgates open. Yeah, and it's just like, yeah, that's how my business is. The floodgates open, and I just get all this wonderful people, all these amazing, great people, and don't be attached to the outcome. So if someone tells you no, in whatever way that is, do you want to think about it or whatever, that's no, by the way. That is a no, gee, maybe they will. If you don't get them to the next appointments, and I'm going to write down, your objective in any call, with a friend, you know, anybody, and all this, by the way, applies to personal relationships, etc. But your objective is to get the next appointment. So when can we meet next? You know, whether it's a loved one, whether it's, you know, fire next, that prospect, you know, when can we meet next? So that's one of your objectives is when can we meet next? And ideally for a call too, that we want to meet next, because we have a system, a process, it works, it's proven that basically Deborah has invested years on learning what to say and what not to say. And so she's got it for you. And you put just your personality into that and you'll make it go. But that's how powerful you are. You can start attracting the people that you want. And you can have 4 to 6 calls every day if you want, or 2 or whatever, you know, it doesn't matter. I think one day, not this week necessarily, but you know, Deborah was saying, you know, I just don't like having these people saying no, or, you know, the money thing, you know, or whatever. Okay, let's just focus then on what we want. Think only about that. I want to attract that. And she had 3 calls that day. And all 3 said yes, wanted to buy the scanner. You know, they were all the ideal client. And that's maybe something that you want to write down is, who is my ideal client? And this weekend, identify who your ideal client is. That they're ready, willing, and able. They're similar minded. They're kind. They're fun. They're friendly. We get along great. Okay? That they get it. They're smart enough to get what we have to offer. We give people some of the key things that everybody, every person in the whole wide world wants. We give them better health, as well as to share with their families in the world. And we give them income, and we give them passive income. And I don't know anybody, like, you know, whenever I've given somebody like $1,000, I don't have them say, how dare you give me this root of all evil? Okay. You know, they say they climb at $1,000. They're skipping along. They're loving it. Yeah, money is good. It's just a misunderstanding of what that quote was. And so you want to also build a relationship.
On the 6th, so you had to stay until the 6th, remember?
Oh, I think we got to mute everybody.
Okay.
Hey. I love those little children voices. They're beautiful. They're beautiful. So this idea about not being attached to whatever the response is. And so if they do tell you no, that what I'd like you to do is think a little bit differently about this and think about it as though God, whatever, that, you know, I like thinking of it as God, that God put this person in my path to say no, so I could build my energy for all the big dreams and desires that I have and that I want. Because I got to build this energy. And if God says, hey, your energy isn't there, you know, you just kind of go through the motions that I'm not somebody to say no. And that no should be, well, that simply, and the technique there is, That's what I don't want. And then you ask, what do I want? Man, I want people that are similar minded, that are friendly, that are fun, that get it, that are all in, are ready, willing, and able, that want me and are willing to pay for it, and they understand my value. And you just start talking about that. If you would only talk about that, you'd be calling me next week for a demanifestation session, because there's just too damn many good people coming your way. Okay. And so, yeah, it's all easy. So let's talk specifically about kind of the steps of the of how to build a relationship. That again, it's pre-paving. This could be with anybody. You're going to go to dinner with your significant other, whatever, your partner, whoever. That pre-paving. We're going to have a great time. It's going to be fun. And I don't care how they are, how they came in the house, if they're crabby, you know, whatever. And the same with when you're having a meeting. And I would encourage Zoom meeting, not telephone, because 60% of your message is your body language. Okay? And are you there and are you excited about it? And if you are, 60% of your message, your communication is lost if you're on the phone. So get on Zoom or get one-on-one. You know, who's just been a master of this is Jenny. Jenny decided, hey, all my business, I can have all the business I want. It's right under my nose. It's the people I know. So last time she went to dinner with the doctor that has 10,000 patients. Yeah, 10,000. Just give 1,000 of those people put on subscription, and then Jenny has enough income for the rest of her life. Yeah, this is how easy this is. Everything's underneath, right under our noses. And so if you meet in person with people, wow, then you're really big. And then all of you was there, all your excitement to share this good news. And so, but step one is pre-paving. Okay, so that's the most important thing out of all the steps. The most important thing for you to build a relationship, to have people say yes, if you will, to have people join your team, is to pre-pave it the way you want it. Not be scared, wondering, you know, our number one fear is public speaking, because we were told, don't talk to strangers. Like, you know, everybody was a stranger. And your mom was a stranger. You popped out and, hey, you know, what's this? And so we're all, and they're not strangers. We're all, none of us, we all love each other. And so at one point, we didn't know each other, but we're all connected and in one. So get this thing about you nervous talking to people or whatever, or, you know, your hair isn't right, that nobody knows but you, that you think your hair isn't right. Just, you know, there is no bad hair day in my life. And it's not because I don't have much hair either. Is that, hey, I just, you know, my hair is great. I look at myself, hey, you know, remember the Fonz? I don't know if you remember you know, for those of you that remember Fonz,
Oh yeah.
look in the mirror and, you know, and have his comb out and ready to go, and then, oh, nothing to change, you know, it's perfect. And that's how you should look at it. No matter what your committee is saying, the smaller self that's judging you and saying negative things, you're beautiful. Each one of you are beautiful and lovely. And so just roll with that. Know that. So step one is pre-paving. And part of that pre-paving is, I would suggest that you invite the loving energy of Archangel Gabriel. And so there are 7 archangels that God has given us, just like God has given us gifts such as money and income, that we also have these 7 gifts. And Archangel Gabriel is this white light, white energy, and is the archangel of communication. And he can help you. You invite him in, and all you have to do is ask. And so whether you want to believe in the angels or, you know, whatever, just if you're thinking about, gee, I want to be an angel of communication. So before any call, before any, you know, communication with anyone, invite Archangel Gabriel in, and if anything, invite that white light in and ask to be the angel of communication. And, you know, we have on Mondays, Deborah and Robin are going to have at 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, their meeting. And then 1 o'clock is the Master Heart family. In the Master Heart family, if you want the recording of Gabrielle, but we invite Gabrielle in to help us to really be able to listen to people, understand where people are, and then when we communicate with them, to communicate like an angel. So if you need that recording, we have that recording, and you can go on my YouTube or whatever, and it's Archangel Gabrielle. But invite that Archangel in. You don't have to do the work anymore. You don't have to think about, oh, do I have everything? It's about who you are. If you're fun, it doesn't matter what the hell you're saying, they're going to say yes. Okay. If you're high flying, if you believe this, then, and you can do that. You can talk yourself into this. So talk yourself into being excited about this, sharing the good news, knowing that they get it, that they love it. And again, the outcome is they say, hey, I don't get it. You say, hey, that's simply what I don't want. I really want to attract people that get it. I just love attracting people that get it. I have a person that I'm helping that just texted me right before this and said, my God, I just attracted another ideal client, and I just had one yesterday. Guys made $9,000 in 2 days. And it's this is how easy this is. Okay, and we're doing just amazing things, helping the health of the world, helping people to have what they want, the type of wealth that they want. So pre-paving, inviting Archangel Gabrielle in and asking to be the angel of communication. And when you do, you'll have the perfect vibration for that person, that you'll be able to have the perfect body language, 60% of your message, the perfect tone of voice, 30% of your message. Only 10% of your message are your words. And we're all concerned about what we're going to say. Stop that. Ask to be the angel of communication, to be friendly, be uplifting, be light. Everything's fun, enjoyable, smile. And when you do, people love you. They'll want a piece of you. They want you. They want to be part of whatever you got. And we have an amazing part. We have the only part that this team that we have, it's the only team that I know of in the world. We got so much. We got spirituality. We got, each other helping each other. We write books. The Crystal Princess, Deborah's amazing book that's now in audio form that you can hear, live, that has just inspired so many people. I mean, we're doing all that. This is more than just the business. This is about your life and growing you and your life, and then helping others to grow their life. And so if you have that attitude and you're on the phone, it's like, I can't wait to talk to you to improve your life and have your dreams come true. Woo, nice. That's what I'm talking about. And that feels so, so good. And so now let's get a little bit more practical, if you will. So now things are smooth sailing, because you have Archangel Gabrielle who's going to do all the talking, if you will. Perfect body language, perfect tone of voice, perfect thoughts and words, and just flow out. And they touch the person you're speaking to, your communication to them. It's all of this, not just your words, all of you, that your communication touches their mind, touches their heart, lifts them up, and helps them to understand what is possible for them now, and helps them to understand how to start walking down that corridor of joy with the doors of abundance opening wide. Man, when you believe that and you know that and you're telling somebody that, everybody wants that. That's what they want. They want their dreams to come true. And so you're a dream maker. You make dreams happen. Because of what you have, because of you first, okay? Yes, it's a scanner and the answers and solutions of the supplement, but it's who you are. And so when you're that way, your first step when you get on the phone, you breathe deeply, okay? And this breath, breathe deeply, pause, take it easy. There's no hurry. You don't have to be on how smart you are. Just relax. When you're relaxed, they're relaxed. When you're nervous, they're nervous. When they're nervous, they're not going to buy. So you want to be relaxed. And the first thing you want to do then, on a more practical basis, if you will, because now it's all easy. But the first thing you want to do is build a relationship. So have you done research on this person? Have you looked up their LinkedIn profile or whatever? Have you found something in common? Have you found something to talk about their personal life? Because when you're talking to this person, yeah, they're just as concerned about their personal life, probably more so than their professional life. And so you want to get personal. Hey, see, you got, a dog. Man, I got a dog too. What's your dog's name? Ask questions. It's another big one. I highlight that. Ask questions. Because you don't give a hoot how much crap you can throw up on them, okay? What you want to do is you want to know who they are. And the way you do that is through asking questions, and you control the conversation this way, but they think they are because you're asking questions, but you're directing them on what it is. And so one of the questions to ask as you're going through some of the information is stop, pause, say, what did you like best about that? Just be quiet. And if there's silence, silence is golden. That means they're taking you serious. That means they're thinking about it. Not you thinking there, the committee will say, oh, shit, they don't know what's going on, and whatever. And I'm getting rid of all that. Hey, this is cool. They're really thinking about this. They think, they're concerned about that. And really into what I'm sharing with them. So slow it down. Get into the flow. Breathe deeply. Think about building that relationship. Ask questions. And the best question then to ask them after you do, some personal things, get to know them. Oh my God, we're that, yeah, that's great. We're similar minded. And, we love hanging around people that are similar minded. We've got plenty of people that aren't in our lives. And so we love attracting the people that we do want, And then you ask this one question, and it's the magical question. And so tell me, what do you want? What do you want? And I said, well, business-wise, I want, and whatever they're saying, I take notes on it, and you want to know everything. Because as you're talking and sharing the good news, you want to make sure you're focused in on what they want. I want to help a lot of people. That means their value is high social, and you want to talk to their values. And this helps the whole world. We just now are going into, we just announced we're going into Dubai. And Dua's been working on that. I know Dua, I think we just found that out. But yeah, Dua, you should just be excited as all get out. We're going to Dubai now. We're international. Dua is international. She just loves international, talking to people all around the world. It's just like, what fun this is. Dua has a dream, and our dream is coming true. And now we're in Dubai, one of the countries that she wants to be in Palestine. And, it's just really incredible, amazing. And we can literally ask for it and get whatever we want. We just got to get out of the way. And what does that mean? Quit saying things that, well, I can't do that, or I'm no good at that, or this person, I think, stop all that. Just start saying what you want and then asking, what do you want? And you'll really get to know them. And then you'll be able to present this amazing information and opportunity to them in their language. So hearing that, what did you like best about that?
Are you asking us that question?
I am. What
Okay.
did you like best?
I think it's important to go back to basics, like fundamental things. We all love people. That's why we're here. Let our personality shine through. Have fun, like you said. If they think we're funny or want to be around us, like I forget that sometimes.
Yeah.
I have agenda. When you have your bullet points or what you want to accomplish in each call.
Right.
And I've been doing that more lately. I've been listening, asking more questions.
Right.
And I actually had a prospect. I don't know if it's the right candidate, but she started crying on the call, and she said, "You remind me of my family. It's so nice talking to you."
Oh.
So it's just, I think it's important to do more of that, and then let them see your value and what they're getting. It's not just the investment; they're getting you. It's just it's priceless. You, the team, everything like that. So
yeah.
Important just to remember. It's things we know, but it's important to remind yourself to do things like that.
Yeah, Carrie, that's amazing. That what you just said is so valuable. Yeah, have fun. Quit looking at your bullet points. It's not about your bullet points, about who you are, what you're thinking, your excitement, your level of how you molded the energy of with your thoughts on what you want. And then this idea about the way that you connected with this person, Carrie. So that's a gift. And that's a great thing to ask for, by the way. So I really want to connect meaningfully with this person on this next call. I want to connect meaningfully with this person. I want to build a deep, meaningful relationship with this person, whether you know them or not. Because see, everybody can be angelic or not. You're the one that calls out whether they are angelic or not. I called the redneck out who was going to shoot me, telling me I was the best. Okay. And so, and I kid with about the redneck, whatever, but I think, and so, yeah, it's this, wow, this touched your heart. You really connected with this person. It touched her heart. You made a difference. And so in that case, what really makes you feel better? Is it that you sold a scanner or that you really touched someone? And for probably most of us, hey, we really touched someone. There's plenty of scanners. There's plenty of people that want scanners. Remember, this world is everything that I want. There are all the people that you want to be on your team. That can be rubies, that can be blue diamond. That this world is everything you want, but you got to be asking for that. You can't be thinking about, gee, I can't believe my business is slow. Your business, your prayer is, my business is going to be slow. All your powers right now. It doesn't matter what the hell happened in the past. What matters is, what am I thinking right now? And I'm thinking, man, this last quarter of this year is going to be the best quarter I ever had. October, November, December, best quarter. Don't let any dumb little committee thought in like, oh, it's the holidays and nobody wanted, no. It's going to be the best quarter I've ever had in my international consulting business. That I would say that because everybody would say, oh, nobody's going to, do that. And I thought, forget that. I am to call it the way I want to. So I'm going to have the best one, and I would have the best quarter, $1 million quarters I would have. It's like, wow, that's cool. And then go beyond that 2024, it's going to be the best year you ever had. And if you start thinking that right now, that'll make this year even better. And next year, imagine. It's all up to you. And some may say, Dr. Hank, you're not very realistic. You're kind of like this ostrich, putting your head in the sand, not looking at reality. Why don't you face reality? And first of all, that science has proven what I'm sharing with you. They say anything that you want in your life, it's your thought. Step one is what you're thinking. And that thought creates energy. And all the disciplines, neuroscientists, quantum physicists, that all the disciplines in the last 5 to 7 years have all agreed that this is how it is. Our thought creates energy, which is our emotion, is energy, okay? And that energy creates matter, M-A-T-T-E-R. This is why thoughts become things. And so whether you like it or don't like it or whatever, believe it or don't, that this is how it is. And we prove it every day together. Robin and I prove it together. Mike and I prove it together. That, we prove it every day. Jenny and I, Deborah and I, that we prove it. We just think we saw it. I had someone it's actually in real estate, but she called me and just was in tears. And she lost the deal. She needs to close by the end of the month. And I said, well, you don't think there's a solution? She goes, well, no. I mean, there's only a week left or whatever. And this was last week. And I said, well, why don't you attract a cash buyer? She goes, oh, wow. I never thought about it. If you don't think about it, you're not going to get it. Start looking for answers and solutions. Start asking for better relationships with everyone. Because when you start having better relationships, like with your family and the ones close to you, that goes out to everybody else then. That when you're in love with everybody, that everybody's in love with you. And so let's see. So yeah, so great comments, Carrie, on this. What's really important is this is more than just, selling something. That yes, we're offering an amazing opportunity here. And when we can touch people, that's priceless, And so let's touch people. Let's go out, build deep, meaningful relationships. Let's have it the way that we want it. Let's bless people with this amazing opportunity. Let's invite the resources that we have, like Archangel Gabriel, so I can communicate the value that I am and that I offer. And that they are ready, willing, and able to jump in and be all in. And you can do it. It's all up to you on that. And then if you need like a next, practical step, how do you attract, where do you get these people from? There's LinkedIn, there's all kinds of answers. And like I say, they're all under your nose. They're in your neighborhood. They're your neighbors. They're the doctor down the street. They're the chiropractor. And so, got to run. Okay, thanks, Mike. Have a good weekend. And so with that, other thoughts and comments? We have a few minutes left here,
So yeah, Dr. Hank, I loved what Carrie shared, and that person will remember Carrie because of how Carrie touched her.
Yeah.
So and I don't know, I read this or somewhere, but most people don't listen. So if we just listen at the first of that phase one and really, when someone's listening, they're going to appreciate that.
Yeah, boy, that's powerful. That's powerful. This idea about God gave us 2 years, 1 mouth, that you have to listen. And that's why, hey, I want to be a good listener. Because when you really listen to what people are saying, you're going to understand where they're coming from. And then you're going to be able to have the answer and solution for them. But if you don't know what they want and don't understand where they're coming from, then they're going to give you some excuse to, they're not going to move forward. But yeah, I love that, Robin.
And can I say something else? Just like right now on this call, I don't know about all of you guys, but I feel uplifted. I feel like, okay, I can do this. I can apply Dr. Hank's principles even better this next week because of the way I feel. And that's just all because of we're redirecting our thoughts, right?
Yeah.
And raising our vibration.
Yeah. Right on. Right on. Yeah, we're making.
And first of all, I agree with everything everybody has said. I think when you look at to your point earlier, the neuroscience of how the brain works, the reality is people are either drawn, you draw them to you or you draw them away from you. It's almost like people respond to fear versus something that is a pleasure or a gain. We're driven by those two things. So your attitude, your demeanor, how you approach people, and even if they approach you negatively, the ability to maintain that approach and that way of being will set the stage for success. And it was funny because you were sharing your story about the parking lot. I was at a lunch today and I walk in and I had the lunch delivered to an office. And this, by the way, has nothing to do with what we sell. And I do apologize for that, but I work for a company, it's a pharmaceutical company. Okay. Anyway, so I walk in and the lunch had been set up and I walk in and somebody comes in that I didn't recognize. I don't remember her position. And so I just said, hello, how are you doing? My name's Morella. I'm with AstraZeneca. I said, and you are? And I was very positive and upbeat. And what comes out of her mouth is a woman. So she was already trying to put me off by her statement. Yeah. And I looked at her, I said, yes. And you look like an amazing woman. So, how we respond to people's negativity, it's our choice. We can take the high road or we can take the low road. We can let them put us off, or we can put them on the right track. And I think that's the mindset that, we want to really develop and give out when we're around people. I hope that I can bring people up, but I'm certainly not going to let them bring me down.
Yeah.
So that's our choice.
Very good.
My goal is to bring them up, but they aren't going to bring me down. And so now that to end that story, there was a whole number of things that occurred in between the lunch with doctors coming in and me talking to people. But that same person, and then I had asked her, well, what do you do? And she said, well, and I had to ask her 2 or 3 times
Yeah.
what she did
Yeah.
and her name because she wasn't responding. I finally got her warmed. And you know what she was excited about, Dr. Hank?
But
Something to your point. Think about what the other person's interested in, what's meaningful to them. Apparently, the lunch I ordered, which I had no idea, had this side dish, which was spicy, some spices that you can add on to the sandwiches and stuff. I didn't order it. It just came with the lunch.
yeah.
But apparently they've gotten that in the past and it didn't have that. So she was like walking in to look for that one thing. When she found that one thing, she was just thrilled with me. And I said, I'll be honest with you, I didn't order it. I had no idea that it was in the mix. I wish I could take the credit. I said, but at the end of the day, now I know. Next time I'll ask for 3 of those. And she started laughing.
Yeah.
So she comes back at the end of the meeting as we're wrapping up, and it ends up being she's a nurse. She is one of the key people that works with the office and the doctors. She didn't want to disclose that. And at the end, when she comes back, I guess we had broken the ice enough, to your point, the personal interaction and sort of just being fun, sort of going with the flow. She comes and she shares a story that's a very deep story about when she was a nurse and how she was caring for the first time for a patient who was a very young man, very big, had been in an accident, and he was completely paraplegic. He couldn't even speak anymore. And so she was sharing this story. And I'm like, is this the same person that came in and told me she was just a woman? Honestly.
Well, that's great, Marilla. And Deborah told me just how great you are, and you sure are. That we appreciate you sharing that. And yeah, and you get to make, like, I love that. You get to make the choice. We each get to make the choice on how we want to do, and you get a choice to let other people affect you or not. And you also get a choice to be able to attract the people that you want and to build these strong relationships. So every morning, and I want to build deep, meaningful, loving relationships. And that opposite of hate, I like to say, is love. And so for underneath all of this, the committee and our guarded heart and whatever, is that we're all pure love and we're all connected. We all want primarily the same basic things. And so let's be nice to each other, kind, loving, and then watch on how the world gives you back what you give it. Yeah, beautiful. All right, everybody. Well, listen, you're going to have just an amazing end of the year here, for the 3 months on ending that. I would review your notes here on this weekend, really start building this energy, this thoughts about the way that you want it, the way you want your business, the way you want to be to other people, the type of relationships that you want. And as you do that, as you prepave, as you call in Archangel Gabriel, as you ask them these key questions, what did you like best? That what do you want, to understand what they want, that you'll see that you're going to start getting and building your business and getting yeses and helping these people and helping yourself. And as you thrive, so the whole world around you thrives. Amen.